Hey everybody. In this video, I'm going to talk about a woman named Lola. Now Lola is her online name. Nobody really knows what is her name, and when she says it, these are in videos, when she says it, she kind of laughs. And she has let it out that there's a story behind that it's not her real name, and there's a story behind why she uses it, but she never tells. She's the kind of person who wants so much to be a mystery about her, and she's not really covering it up that much that she wants so much to be a mystery about her. Okay, she'll joke and say it's a little mystery, it's an inside joke, it's a something that people ask her, well, what is it? And she, oh, that's for another time, or something, or she'll say you'll have to figure out that mystery. Now, the thing about it is, she is into true crime mysteries. Okay. And it's kind of, it's one of those things where she some of them have already been figured out, but you got to remember, in these true crime things, like true crime detectives, or what they call them these days, internet sleuths. It's not web sleuths, because there's actually an LLC with that name, I believe. But internet sleuths, I think. Armchair detectives. Some call them armchair detectives, which is kind of derogatory. Did I get that word right? Maybe. But anyway, she, armchair detectives and so on. Anyway, she's into that, and like I said, we have to remember there are real people behind these. In most cases, they're not whenever it's fiction, but yeah, people in the county, they have two social media websites, social media platforms, and where they can do their videos. And it's just more recently, sometime in 2020, that they opened them up to everybody in the county. They had before, like, one of them, Virtual County, wouldn't allow people from a town actually called the Outlaws, and then that town wouldn't allow everybody else in the rest of the county except for one other town, you see, and the people where it was located in the Outlaws. Got all that? Yeah. And now they're both open to everybody within the county. It's just for the county of Victorson County, and people started joining. Like the Virtual County had a section for adults only, and it's for adult discussion, not adult videos, as you know what I'm saying. But people make videos about like anything from makeup to true crime to music to just skits, whatever they want to. And on them, they have to keep, on Virtual County, they have to keep themselves. They use pseudonyms, and they are automatically, there's a visual, what's it called? Visual effect that it will not show the real person. Okay, they don't allow that unless they're doing advertisements in it. It's a separate account. Got all that. Now, and the other one is called the Outcast Online. That's the one from a town called the Outlaws. They have an option. They can also do it themselves, and so on. If they want to use pseudonyms and everything. Eventually, they had to, but not right off the bat. But anyway, got all that. There's so much detail to all that too. Okay, look at this weather, man. Yeah, but it's not. We're not supposed to have anything, so it's been cloudy for the last, I don't know, a couple of days maybe. Anyway, so this woman, she goes by Lola. There's some kind of mystery behind it, but she is so much about mystery. Okay, very much about mystery. And think of somebody who grew up liking to play the game Clue. I played the game Clue when I was younger. Okay, now where was I? But I was saying this about, I think, people who grew up playing the game Clue. Now, I grew up playing the game Clue. Boy, that's hard to say. Say it 3 times. It just didn't roll off the tongue right. But anyway, and think of somebody, I remember when I was a kid, I mean, I'm talking a young kid, I thought the name, I really liked Colonel Mustard. I thought it was just so cute. As a little kid, probably 6, 7, 8 years old, somewhere around there. Maybe I was that old. Maybe a little bit older, I don't know. But I was a kid. And so I always wanted it to be Colonel Mustard. But I was smart enough to know that it wasn't always going to be Colonel Mustard, and I couldn't make up my mind that it was going to be no matter what. You know, I had to play the game, and I had to play it right. Now I could see Lola as being one of those that plays it right, that gets, you know, how to play the game. But there are other people like Cassie. Cassie's, you know, somebody else. Of course, she's somebody else. She's around the same age, you know, give or take. But she makes up her mind from the beginning, and nothing is going to change her mind. You know, that's how she, you know, as a kid, she probably played Clue and thought that was the way. You know, she makes up her mind before the game's even started. And that's what's going to be. Now, odds are, you know, eventually, you know, like a clock is right, at least, a broken clock is right at least twice a day, you know. Yeah, but she believes that in a game. Now, the odds of that, how many different things have to be? 3 or something? And just always knowing what it is or who it is. Maybe it's just, you know, always knowing who it is. No, it's not always going to be just what you want it to be. But now, Lola, she's smart enough, but Cassie is trying to befriend her. And, you know, there's a possibility she can see right through that. But like I said, Lola is a bit of a mystery herself. She puts off to other people that she's a very nice person and very thoughtful and considerate and all of these. But then, like, she flips all of a sudden, does a flip-flop. And she's not quite so, you know, nice, sweet, thoughtful, considerate. I left out sweet the first time, right? But but those moments are kind of like short and brief. Either way, really. You know, sometimes she's just there. If that makes sense. Okay, once again, where was I? Anyway, Lola, you know, she's just a mystery, like I said. And people are kind of curious about her. You know, it's kind of like you can't figure out, well, what side of the fence is she really on, because she seems to play both sides. Now, there's not always two sides, you know. Some people are independent of all that. I'm an independent. And in every way, you know, that I can think of. You know what I mean? You know, I don't pick a side. I don't tend to be a joiner. I don't think a certain way because other people who think something like that way, they think that I don't let people tell me how to think. And this is how Lola is. Now, nobody knows how old Lola is either. There were times, you know, before she would give a little bit, like before on Outcast Online, before they made it to where, you know, it was blurred. They did that one also eventually. You know, the image would be blurred. She would dress like a detective with the hat and the jacket and sunglasses, so nobody could really tell much about her. Okay, they really couldn't tell anything, like her age. They knew her color of her hair was blonde, and that's all they knew. You know, and that she had a light, very light complexion. But other than that, a mystery. And some people will do this because it's part. But the question really is, on that part, is it she's playing a persona, or that's really how she sees herself? Some people wonder, you know, because some of these, you know, online internet sleuths, whatever they want to call themselves, or other people want to call them. Like I said, I'm kind of independent. I don't pick a side. but tend not to. In some things, there is right and wrong. We all know that there is right and wrong. Well, I don't know if we all know that. Some people don't, apparently. But anyway, she, like I said, she kind of rides the fence on a lot of things. But is she doing it on purpose? Because knowing that some people will say, well, okay, if she's this or she's that, it's okay, either way. Because there's so much she wraps around mystery in what she says and what she does, even. You see? Okay, now another thing is, nobody knows if she's married or not, or she has kids. She keeps so much of a mystery. But they wonder about if she's married because, well, various reasons. They just don't know. That sparks their interest in, well, what is she? But she also seems to have a thing for a guy that also does this true crime kind of. Yeah, there's the other name, true crime, armchair detectives, whatever, internet sleuths. He does it too, and she seems to have a little bit of a crush on him. Or maybe she just likes him. See how everything is so much as maybe with her, because she's so mysterious. But he does them too, and so nobody knows, does she have a thing for him or not? Okay, but some things over time, like she's kind of, I wouldn't even say new to it, but she does, before she didn't really get involved enough. She had other, different interests, and then some people started really focusing on, she started focusing, let me put it that way, on what was popular to focus on. Before it was kind of like, how you can read some magazines that are about true crime, and then they discuss, what was going on there. But then she started getting interested in what was going on in the county, and also, like a big case outside of the county. And so then she started to more gather people who were, people who like to watch and not like to make the videos. So when she started zoning in, and people started to, you can't even really say they were starting to get to know her because she's so mysterious. That's what they know of her, is she's mysterious. Okay. And yeah, do you know a type like that? Do you know somebody who is this way? But one thing that they did start to realize is she's a bit of she's a bit of a rebel. Like if somebody says, you really shouldn't talk about that, or you really shouldn't, whatever, when it's wrapped around this, she'll do it, she'll talk about her, she'll do it anyway, whatever. She doesn't care. But she doesn't put it out there in an aggressive way. Some people are very aggressive with it, that they're going to do whatever they want to, and that's that, with that kind of attitude. And you just too bad, I'm going to do it anyway. She's not like that. She is more like, she just does it. And doesn't explain why she did. She doesn't listen to people's advice on to do it or not to do it. She does whatever she wants to do. See? So, okay. Now, the other woman, Cassie, she is she's loud and obnoxious, to tell you the truth. She's loud and she's obnoxious with the kind of the histrionic kinds of behaviors. And now Cassie got into it because her adult son, who was her pride and joy, just vanished, was invisible, just vanished. I shouldn't say invisible, but one day he just didn't come home from work, and his wife and his 2 kids, kind of thing. And now it wasn't so much about that with Cassie, with her way of being. Instead, it was her pride and joy, where she got her pride and joy. You see, so then she got into all this true crime the online sleuths kind of thing herself. And she's trying to find anybody who's in the county and trying to spread the word around and to get more and more involved. In one of the people, well, both of the ones I mentioned, Rob and Lola, she wants to get in with them. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And stay tuned. Read the disclaimers in the description box below this video on YouTube. These are my opinions, and I could be wrong. Okay, but I'll talk to you on another video. Boy, look at this weather, though. Really. All right, bye.